Hi, this is Dr. Kasia Kines, founder and CEO of EBV Global Institute, and today we're talking about summer tips. Summer tips, how to prevent EBV reactivation and how to stay hydrated. I'm going to have 5 tips for EBV and 6 tips for hydration. So let's start with number 1 for EBV. First of all, mind air quality. There are chemicals, environmental toxins that we know reactivate EBV, and we know from the community as well. Not just the studies. So here's a list that you want to be mindful of. Car exhaust, so you don't want to walk a lot where there's a lot of traffic. Fireworks, they stay in the air for a number of weeks, so the dioxins in the fireworks can reactivate you. Burning wood, burning forests, so summer forest burning in California, for example, fire pits, burning debris, grilling, especially the blackened part of the meat, but just the smoke in general. So you want to be really cognizant and have an air filter, close the windows if you have pollution in the air, like burning forest. Very important. Number 2 is sun overexposure and overheating. Sun is very important. Vitamin D is very important for immunity. However, in our community, we find that people are really sensitive to too much sun and too much heat. So be cognizant, especially if you go on vacation to a tropical island or Mexico, or you are, in a hot climate, hot desert climate. You want to make sure you protect yourself, you get some shade, and get on the supplements as well to prevent reactivation. Number 3, eating out. Eating out means you eat poor quality oil, because that's what comes with restaurant food and junk food sometimes. And so a couple of things here, 2 simple quick solutions. Happy Cow app or Happy Cow website is a great global search site for better quality eateries, co-ops, grocery stores, restaurants, ethnic restaurants that have more plant-based food options, which often comes with higher quality and better education about foods and better choices. So that's one. It works. It really is amazing. And another thing is on my website, kineswellnesssolutions.com, we have digestive enzymes that are isotonics. They come in a little box, packets. They travel well. So this is perfect to, it's a powder mixed with water. In a restaurant after a meal, you can just pop a double, just a whole packet, 2 doses, and that can help your digestion if you ate something heavy and something that you think didn't serve you, just because traveling in summer, social eating in summer, it's harder to avoid some of the trigger foods like gluten, dairy, eggs. So digestive enzymes might help you a little bit. Number 4 is nutrient density. Like we said, eating out, not ideal. If it happens, you need some tools. Better choices if you can, but if you don't, just be aware that nutrient status is also one of the factors for EBV reactivation. We know it from science, we know it from our community. If your nutritional status decreases, so you have poor quality food, not so many organics, maybe you eat out more, that nutritional status will drop, and with that, the EBV will become more aggressive. That's just very well studied and very well documented in our community too. So nutritional status does matter, quality of your food does matter. And number 5 is traveling. There's a lot of traveling in the EBV world in summer, and there's lots of limitations in traveling. So I have to say we have a whole masterclass series, and one of the pieces in it is travel in EBV. Our students travel locally, they can get on a plane, they can travel internationally between continents in different time zones, they don't reactivate in COVID. So it is possible to travel, but you have to do some ground work and you have to know what to do. So there's a wonderful masterclass. It's affordable, and there's probably 1.5 hour video attached to it and very meaty handouts. One piece is about traveling by land and one specifically traveling by plane. So that's something that I can't cover here, but I would love for you to really have access to it so you can enjoy the summer. So these are the 5 tips specifically for EBV, and let's dive into tips for hydration, which is perfect for EBV community as well. So I have 6 tips that I love to share with everyone that will listen. Number 1 is coffee. If you drink a cup of coffee, you owe your body a cup extra water. That's basically what it is. If you drink 2 cups of water, you need to rehydrate with 2 cups extra water. As simple as that, if you have to drink that coffee. Number 2, thirst mechanism. If you are a senior, your thirst mechanism will start being impaired. So you can't trust your body telling you that you're thirsty. That's not going to happen. So for that community, that population, I always recommend having a pitcher with water and making sure put it on the countertop in the middle of the kitchen so you can't miss it. You can put some lemon, you can put some other stuff in it, but water predominantly. Keep it there so you can see it, and as you walk around, walk past it, keep drinking that water between meals to hydrate regardless of your thirst mechanism, so you can make sure this way that it's empty by the end of the day. If you're traveling, you're on the go, you need a big bottle for traveling, pour the water in there and just drink it as you drive around in hot temperature in your car. That's very important. Number 3, check your urine level, check your urine color. When you wake up, naturally, the first urine will be kind of intense yellow, and that's because you're dehydrated because you slept all night. You didn't drink water. But during the day, it should be pale and barely yellow. So if your urine consistently is dark yellow like sun, then you are dehydrated. The darker the yellow, the more intense, the more dehydrated you are. And so that's how you can kind of pay attention. If you take B-complex vitamins, they can make it fluorescent yellow. So that's another thing, keeping in mind. But check with yourself. It's free. It's easy. It's a good habit to have. People say you should drink so many cups of water per weight. I don't care that much. I look at the urine color. So that's number 3. Number 4, make sure you have water filter. If you don't install water filter, your liver is your filter, and that's not fair. And if you have well water, bad news. I wrote about it in my book. There's studies. The water is contaminated. You can be drinking oral contraceptives. Well water is not clean water. Tap water is not clean water. There's a lot of contamination in tap water. And plastic bottles with water, these have been tested. We have studies and we have confirmation that they are equally contaminated. They're not upscaled water, filtered water. It's not what it is. So avoid plastic bottles, maybe mineral water in glass containers, glass bottles from Europe. But make sure you have water filtration. And number 5, adrenal support. In our community, adrenals really need support, and people with low adrenal function find that rehydration with water doesn't feel right. You can drink water but feel you're not rehydrated. You still feel like that water is not feeding you. In that case, what I would try is around 3 p.m., have a glass of warm water, put a pinch of Celtic sea salt specifically. Celtic sea salt is the best. That's the one you want. A little pinch, not to make the water salty, but just to enhance the way the water can hydrate you. There's electrolytes, there's sodium that adrenals need. Drink that. You can put ice in it later. I just want you to dissolve that salt. Drink that and see if you actually perk up, if you feel more hydrated, if you feel like you're absorbing that water better, because chances are you will. And the last tip, number 6, unless you don't like coconut water is a fantastic rehydrating drink because it's isotonic, it has electrolytes, it just is easy on the body, it goes in, it replenishes you, and it feels really great. So it does cost a little, and so that's problematic. But if you are on the go, or if you're traveling, if you are in a store, grab 1 or 2 containers so you can drink it as you're in transit. So these are the tips. I hope your summer will be fabulous. You can travel a little bit and do it safely and be cognizant of the air quality, water quality. and not reactivate the summer and just instead enjoy it.